Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Narayana Montufar. I am an astrologer, artist, and author who finds inspiration in the symbolic language of astrology. I wrote a book about the moon, which is called Moon Signs Unlock Your Inner Luminary Power. And I also offer astrology readings, Akashic Records readings, and tarot readings on my website, www.naramon.com. I also created a free 2024 retrograde guide to help you work with the retrogrades, all of the retrogrades in 2024. So today I am here to bring you all of the important dates and transits to pay attention this Pisces season, which begins on February 18th and that lasts all the way to March 18th. So a total of 4 weeks. Pisces is the last sign of the Zodiac, the 12th sign. So we've basically come to the end of the current cycle, or it's the beginning of the end, because the astrological calendar does not align with the Gregorian calendar. In fact, for us astrologers, the new year begins during Aries season, exactly on the day that the sun enters Aries. So Pisces is kind of like the end of a cycle. We're wrapping up the astrological year. And I'm going to talk about the archetype of Pisces. And for that, I created some slides here that I'm bringing in. This is a picture of me at the beach, because somehow I end up always hanging out at the beach during Pisces season, just by coincidence. This year I'm going to be on the beach and I hadn't even planned that. But I want to set a strong foundation for us today and talk about what's the archetype of Pisces real quick, and from there we're going to know a little bit more about what energies are coming in, because every single Pisces season is different. So Pisces season, again, that lasts between February 18th and March 18th, is a time of really tapping into the world of mysticism, magic, the spirit world, and everything that is non-tangible. Think about it that way. Pisces rules all of the things that you can't necessarily touch. The world of spirits, the world of intuition and divination, everything that happens while we sleep, which is like 1/3 of the time. What happens during that time, the dream world, everything that's beyond the veil, and that it's a little bit hard to grasp with the logical mind. Pisces is one of the only 2 zodiac signs that have 2 planetary rulers. In traditional astrology, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and philosophy and spirituality. And in modern astrology, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the planet of oneness, magic, and the oceanic kind of like oneness in the universe. That's really what Neptune rules. I personally use both rulerships in my work because that's what I've seen working. However, to be completely honest with you, I do feel like Pisces has just a natural affinity with Neptune because it's oceanic. Pisces is a water sign. We have 2 water signs, of course, Scorpio and Cancer. But to me, Pisces just feels the sign that's more connected to the ocean, to the concept of having no boundaries and the concept of oneness. Of course, some people disagree with that, but that is how I see it. I see Pisces as being ruled by Neptune. Sometimes you will see some Piscean people, Pisces rising especially, being a little bit more Jupiterian, like very social and just kind of taking the entire room as they walk in. You will see that working too, but for the most part, I see Pisces as ruled by Neptune. So there's this duality to Pisces, and it doesn't only show with the two planetary rulers, it also shows in its demeanor. Pisces, if you see the symbol of Pisces, is two fish, one swimming upwards and the other one swimming downwards. It's kind of like always torn between two sides. There's this dichotomy to Pisces. And the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because I think that this year in particular, and also 2025, but we'll talk about that when the time comes, we're going to really experience this Pisces season, this dichotomy of really different energies. And I'm going to prepare you with those states. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because of Saturn. Saturn, the planet of boundaries, responsibility, and seriousness, is currently in Pisces. So what does this mean? It's co-present with Neptune in Pisces. What this means is that the beginning of Pisces season is going to bring a very Saturnian, very serious type of energy. And if you're studying astrology, or if you're trying to figure out how to work with astrology, this Pisces season is going to be really helpful for you. Because at the beginning of Pisces season, we're going to have this very Saturnian energy. Saturn rules career, authority figures, and self-mastery. What we need to do in order to keep our lives going and working and in order. You're going to feel this energy the most between February 23rd and March 6th. That's when the sun is going to be traveling, aligning with Saturn. So this is your time to get stuff done. Cross all of the items on your to-do list. Make sure that everything's working. Making sure that you have your bills paid. Everything's working up to speed. You will probably have a lot of deadlines to meet, or maybe a lot of work piling up on your desk. That is what Saturn does. You might be working late during that time. Or you might just have a lot to juggle. Like work, career, and then family, and then social life. So prepare for these days between February 23rd and March 6th to feel a little bit heavy. Again, it's not something you can't handle. And this is your time to like push and get everything done. Why? Because the last part of Pisces season, which is between March 10th and March 19th, there comes Neptune, the activations of Neptune. During those days, we're not going to want to do much or anything at all. But again, we have jobs, we have kids, we have things to do. But when the sun travels through where Neptune is, we're just out of energy. We just feel like resting and napping and not doing much, or at least doing the bare minimum. And that's okay. Remember, we're coming to the end of a cycle here. There's a major new beginning coming right at the beginning of Aries season. So it's okay to relax. It's okay to get lost in the world of dreams and nothingness. That's what Pisces season is all about anyway. But now you're prepared, knowing that between February 23rd and March 6th is like go, 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 go. Make sure that you have all your stuff in order. The authority figures will be watching. People are going to be watching. Are you doing your work? Or even if you work for yourself, you might run into longer nights of work and just doing stuff, getting stuff done. And then between March 10th and March 19th, You can relax, maybe even take a vacation. This is one of the best times to take a vacation while the sun is traveling in Pisces at the end. And this is how you flow. This is why astrology is so helpful, because you flow with the natural rhythms. And these are the natural rhythms this year. So what else is coming this Pisces season? I already talked about the energy, the archetype, how to harness it, and those two dichotomies. One of the most exciting transits that's happening this Pisces season is the yearly conjunction between Venus and Mars, which I call the legendary cosmic lovers. Venus and Mars meet only once a year. And this time it's happening during Pisces season, which feels nice, because Valentine's wasn't that great astrologically speaking. We had like a mixed bag of energies. And I feel like this is the real Valentine's in a way. When Venus and Mars meet, they kiss in Aquarius. However, they're still traveling in Aquarius by the time they meet. And this is going to be really exciting to see and to watch, because by the time they meet in Aquarius, they're going to bring the energy of Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius, and they both met with Pluto before kissing. And so we're starting a completely new cycle. And in this cycle, we're bringing an energy of transformation. We're not relating the same way. And this makes sense, because Pluto has brought so much change into our lives for the past 4 weeks and even before. It makes sense that relationships are also experiencing newness. Aquarius is the sign of free love, freedom, individuality. So be prepared for some of the boundaries in your relationships to change, or having some conversations about the future. How are we moving forward? Being completely honest about our feelings. And what's really amazing about Aquarian energy is that it's detached. It's emotionally detached. Emotionally detached enough to like allow for both parties to chase their dreams without being so interconnected. This can sound kind of cold, but it is what it is, and it is what we need. And these relationships are not just romantic, by the way. I talked about the cosmic lovers, Venus and Mars, just because I like how it sounds, but we're also redrawing the boundaries and changing our contracts or our deals in business, in friendships. And it really depends on where Aquarius is in your chart. And I'm going to be talking about this in a minute. But this conjunction happens on February 21st. But we're going to start feeling it as soon as the sun enters Pisces, I think, because like this conjunction is, it takes a little while to build up. So you're going to feel it before, but the exact day is February 21st. I invite you to, around this time or even now, start thinking about, well, how can I embrace the Aquarian principles of freedom, excitement, healthy detachment, and newness. I'm thinking that because this conjunction is happening in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules the internet, I feel like it's a fabulous day to fill an online dating profile, for example, in the case that you're looking. It's also a great time for community work, for community presence, to like get out there and meet people in person, or maybe meeting other friends who share a cause. because Aquarius is the sign of community, and we're rallying together. We're doing things. Community is restarting all over again. So I invite you to make the best of this conjunction. The next thing that I want to talk about is Mercury entering Pisces. Mercury is going to be in Pisces between February 23rd and March 9th. And this is important to pay attention to. Why? Because Mercury, as the planet that rules communication, thought process, and everything that's the mind, the what's happening here, Mercury is not happy in Pisces. It is just not. It is just too like kind of out there and all over the place for the planet of thought. And the reason why this is important to pay attention to is because during these 3 weeks that Mercury is going to be in Pisces, we're distracted. See, we're distracted. We're not fully like here. We could be like texting one moment and the next moment we're on the phone. The next moment we are back on the computer and we don't know what was happening. It's a distracting combination. If you have important, and again, you will probably have important deadlines to meet and all of this because of the Saturn activations that I just talked about, double, triple check your work before sending it in. Double, especially if you're working with facts and figures and numbers and all of these things that require having an attention to detail. And you're going to be more affected by this if you have Gemini or Virgo rising or Gemini or Virgo sun. I included that in here, but just pay attention to that because like we can make big mistakes. If you have like an important proposal or memo to send, make sure you're reading everything before hitting send. That's going to help you enormously. Then we have the full moon in Virgo on February 24th with the sun in Pisces and the moon opposing in Virgo. Some astrologers call this polarity, the Virgo-Pisces polarity, the most sensitive polarity. And I agree with that. We're having the beach here. I feel like this polarity is well represented by the beach where the earth meets the water. And we're just feeling very sensitive at this time. We can't tell why. Our bodies are just sensitive. Our energies, our auras are just kind of feeling like reclusive. You might not want to go out this weekend, or at least not too much, because people are being closed off a little bit. Saturn is going to be present, very activated during this time. Save your energy for whatever you need to do, for you, whatever you have to do during this full moon. So your energy doesn't get dispersed and you can focus it where it needs to go. That will be important to make this full moon work for you. Then on February 27th, we have Mars in Aquarius squaring Jupiter in Taurus. This is a reactivation of your ambition and energy. You're like, yes, I'm going to make stuff happen. This is a really good aspect for pushing the boundaries and like trying to get excitement, things off the ground. I like this activation. It kind of like, it ignites your ambition. Since we've had so much change in the past 4 weeks and we've been getting used to it. By now you should know what to do. You should know what's going to help you grow, what's going to help you expand in whatever you're expanding now, whether that's your business, your family, your spiritual awareness. This is an expansive time. Of course, you have to be concerned with not overdoing it, because both of these signs, Taurus and Aquarius are fixed in their beliefs. So you have to open your mind. You have to do things differently. But I like squares with Jupiter because I feel like this one in particular can bring a lot of experimentation and a lot of play and excitement to the table. Then we have the Sun conjunct Saturn in Pisces, which perfects on February 28th. I gave you the dates, February 23rd to March 6th, but this is when it's going to feel the strongest, on February 28th. Keep an eye on it. What does it bring for you? We're all experiencing Saturn in a different way. But this is the time when it's not necessarily bad. Saturn is feared because it makes us work. It brings tough lessons. It tells you you're not in the right path. You need to move. You need to try something else. You need to work harder. You have to have a strategy. Remember, Saturn is the master teacher planet. If you've been doing a good work, if you've been at it, if you've been trying, Saturn could bring you a gift in the form of a congratulations, a job well done. This is especially true because the full moon is happening 4 days before this. So there's something coming to completion now. But if you have not been taking care of your responsibilities, if you've been slacking or just kind of lost, and a lot of us might feel like that. It's Pisces season. It's like, woo, we're just kind of floating. Be prepared to face the consequences. Not to scare you at all, but it happens. We all have such Saturn moments in we realize that we didn't put enough effort into something. Then be prepared for that. Be prepared to deal with it around February 28th. My favorite mantra for Saturn: sometimes you win, sometimes you'll learn. Don't see it. If you don't get your way or something doesn't totally gel for you, the lessons are super valuable. Absorb those lessons and then try again. Then things get intense in relationships concerning what I just talked about those conversations or those beginnings, because both Venus and Mars square Uranus. Venus squares Uranus on March 1st and Mars squares Uranus on March 9th. So the cosmic lovers, after they meet and have this kiss and they initiate a new way of relating with one another, then we have them squaring Uranus, the planet of unpredictable surprises, the planet of change. So here we go again. Maybe we're breaking free from something that we promised, or maybe we're backtracking and we're no, you know what? That's not what I meant this, but I didn't really mean it. Or keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on these dates, on your relationships, because Uranus is it can be impulsive, especially with these squares happening in fixed signs. You might not see the impulsivity coming, and then suddenly it's it explodes in front of your face. Don't break up with someone just because you've been feeling restrained or that you need freedom. This is a time to have a conversation, but it might not be a time to do something that you might regret later. I'm telling you firsthand. I did something like that very, very recently. So there's this sense of desiring freedom or desiring to breaking free in relationships. This is an important aspect to pay attention to. And it might echo something that occurred for you back in November 11th. I remember this because that was my birthday. On November 11th, we had Mars and Venus, both of them, like around that time, opposing Uranus. And a lot of us experience real breaks, cold and harsh breaks in our relationships. Well, that could echo. This could echo. It brings a similar energy. So it's really important to pay attention to this one. Then we have the new moon in Pisces on March 10th. And this is when the Neptune kind of like, woo, just floating in the water kind of vibe and sets in. That's when the Neptune energy sets in. And this new moon in Pisces just feels like it's going to be conjunct Neptune, pretty much. So this is a time for new moons are new beginnings. Always new beginnings when the sun and the moon meet. But this doesn't feel like the new moon to, let's say, launch a business or doing something serious with, because it's so close to Neptune. This new moon feels really good for other things like starting a daily meditation practice, starting a past life regression study, or diving deep into magic, casting spells, something like that. It is more about creativity, like starting a new painting, starting a painting class, a meditation workshop. See, it's all the Piscean energy of like mysticism and going within. It's not an outward type of new moon. It's what I'm talking about. It's not like I'm going to build this, because you have the dissolution of Neptune. Whatever you want to build now, it's just going to get dissolved very soon. So it just feels like a time for spiritual or creative endeavors, and not really something that you want to build on. At least that's my opinion. And then the last transit that for all signs that I want to talk about is Venus in Pisces. So this is kind of like interesting, because Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus just loves to swim in the waters of Pisces. And this does push our manifestation capabilities, especially after the sun kind of moves away from Neptune. I just feel like more towards like the total end of March just feels like a good time. If you're looking for love, romance, if you're looking to just deepen your creative or your spiritual practices, this is a great time to do it. Venus in Pisces is kind of like the perfect combination to just go back to your dreams and think about, what is a dream? I have a dream. When planets are exalted, they kind of take over the reins. That's the astrological way to talk about a planet being really strong in a sign where it can work its magic. And remember, we don't have any retrograde planets until April 1st, which is when Mercury goes retrograde. So these, even though there's like, feels like a Neptunian dissolution, there's still, there's a really nice energy for manifesting just a happy life without thinking so much about material things or like success or things like that. Just to find that feeling of peace. At the end of the day, that's what we want. We just want to feel tranquil and happy with what we already have. And Venus in Pisces, in my opinion, is about that. For some signs, it will really help with other things. And that's where I'm going now. So, okay, let's start with Pisces, because it's Pisces season. And you know, I always start with that sign. you Pisces, all that I talked about in this video at the beginning of the dichotomy of energies, of the building and dissolving and all of that, applies to you extremely well. Extremely well. First is Saturn. So expect to be busy. Expect to have a lot going on between February 23rd and March 6th. I think that, yeah, March 6th. You might feel like you're burning the candle at both ends and you have too much work to do at the same time as you have to take care of family members or taking care of your children for longer periods of time. Know that it is Saturn. Remember, Saturn in your sign is a big test to your character. Are you up for this? Are you capable of doing things? Are you focused or are you messing around, Pisces? That's what Saturn is saying. Be really focused and keep your schedule clear during those days as much as possible so you can like show up. This is your time. This is one of the most important times of the year for you, Pisces, to show up and tell Saturn, yes, I can do it. I have everything I need to get this done. I'm going to do it. It's happening. Then you get to play. Then you get to play in the second part of Pisces season. You do have a beautiful new moon. I mean, there's always a new moon. Well, you get one new moon a year in your sign. These horoscopes are for rising signs, by the way. But you can also listen to your sun sign. The new moon in Pisces is a time to sit down. Sit down and really think. Especially with Venus entering Pisces the next day. Well, it is a time to really feel your ability to manifest the life of your dreams. And if you're not happy with something in your life right now, it's for a reason, just so you know. You're experiencing three of these years where Saturn is in your, during the years that Saturn's in your sign. They're very important years. Even if it doesn't seem like it, you're building something meaningful. Sometimes it like feels like something's working, and then it gets dissolved, and then working, and then it gets dissolved. Trust that you're building something meaningful and important, and that will last the test of time. You have to deal with the Neptunian dissolution at times. But just trust that you're in the right place at the right time. And also at the same time, challenge yourself to think differently. At the end of the day, all these planets that are coming to your sign just passed through Aquarius and then passed through Pluto. So nobody can do things the same way. But especially you, because your sign is the receiver of all this change and groundbreaking energy. So I invite you to think about this during your new moon, which is like your time of the year to really realize what needs to go from your life and what needs to stay. And the good news is that Venus enters Pisces. And this is a really nice energy. If you're looking for a partner, Venus in your sign starting March 11th is one of the best times to find that person. Because you're a romantic. No, you're romantic. You can't help it. That's what it is. If you're looking for a partner, the transit of Venus in Pisces is one of your best times of the year to find that person, or at least coming to terms with what you want. What do I really want? Okay, so now it's Aries. Pisces rules your 12th house of subconscious mind. Aries. What does that mean? It means that it is the time of the year in which you get to like relax, and surrender to whatever's going to happen. You're going to need more rest. You're going to need more sleeping time. You might even wake up a few days and think, during certain days, you might wake up and think, what's going on with me? Why am I so tired? Well, just so you know, it's like a lineup of 5 planets slowly making their way through your sector of dreams, secrets, rest. It's a laying low. This is a laying low kind of season for you. And that's okay, because you get a major new beginning when the sun enters your sign on March 19th. So this is the time to recover your energies, kind of replenish yourself. So and do it. And if you look back, right, this is why astrology is so helpful. If you look back, if you want to keep diaries or notes or things like that, you're going to notice that every time during Pisces season, during this season, you feel tired. You have kind of like a dip in energy, and that's fine, because you're going to gain your energy back very soon. Excuse me. What else? Well, the February 21st, 22nd, this conjunction is active those days. It depends on where you are, East Coast or Pacific Coast. Basically, this conjunction is February 21st, 22nd, like around that time. This feels like really exciting, because it's happening in your 11th house of community and friendships. So you might meet somebody while attending to an event or doing activism work online, activism work on the front lines, whatever you're doing during this time. Even though you're going to feel kind of tired, this is the time to get out, because like you're going to be meeting exciting people at the very least. And then the new moon in Pisces on March 10th, it is a fabulous time to deepen your spiritual practice. That's the theme for you for this new moon. It is about really coming to terms with what's inside. And why is this important? It's important because you're going to have eclipses in your sign. You have an eclipse coming up on April 8th. And that's going to bring an incredible amount of energy your way, like a lot of energy. I'm getting ahead of time, but I'm preparing, because this month feels like a preparation. Pisces season feels like a preparation towards that. The North Node is in your sign, bringing energy, bringing things, bringing people, bringing options. And that's just going to intensify in April. And once Mercury goes retrograde in your sign. So this new moon is a time to really go within, deepen your spiritual practice, and really ask yourself, how have I changed in the past 6-8 months? What has changed for me? How would I like to move on with my life? Big questions. And that's why it's really helpful to embrace introspection right now. Because if you're out and about and you're running around, which is something you like to do, and that's great, you don't have enough time to really ask yourself, what do I want in a year that is incredibly important to know where you're headed? Okay, Taurus now. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So this feels like a really good month, but it really feels like also like a month in which you could experience everything, right? Like from lucky breaks to unexpected surprises. And why do I say this? Is because there are activations of Jupiter and Uranus in your sign. And a lot of this energy is going to be in your career sector. And that's exactly where Venus and Mars kiss on February 21st. I like this for you when it comes to career visibility, getting your work out there, showing more of yourself or of who you are. Remember, it is the age of Aquarius. It's so important to bring your gift to the world, to humanity. Maybe this is a good time to just jump, put yourself out there. Romance-wise, I feel like this conjunction could also bring some sweet moments with an existing partner or maybe a new partner. Because what this conjunction is going to do for you, Taurus, is like push you up. It's like, get up, get out there, show yourself to the world. Show your gifts, your desires. What else? The full moon in Virgo, that could be sweet because exactly on that full moon, Venus forms a square with Jupiter. So you could get a lucky break. A lucky romance could come into your life. Maybe even something unexpected that you didn't expect, that you haven't been waiting for, or that you've been waiting for but that you thought you weren't going to get. At this full moon, prepare to receive. Open your arms. It could be career related. And then the last dates that I have for you, it's Venus in Pisces. This is amazing. This is really amazing for you, Taurus, because your planet is Venus. That's the planet that rules your chart if you're a Taurus rising, or your sun if you're a Taurus sun. So this is one of the best times of the year. This is at the end, sort of at the end of Pisces season, but it could really ignite you to keep going, to keep doing, to making power moves. I love this for you. I love Pisces season for you. Pisces season is very friendly to you because you're an earth sign. Pisces is water. So it kind of waters think about your dreams being these beautiful flowers that are going to bloom in the spring, because you have outstanding astrology coming in April and May. So think about your dreams as these flowers and the water of Pisces season just watering those dreams. Okay, so Gemini, this is going to be a very important month in your journey. Why? Because of Saturn. Okay? Yes. Saturn is in Pisces, and that's your career sector. And you know that it's been a little tough. You've had a lot of work, or you've had a lot of obstacles along the way, but these obstacles are helping you get better. These obstacles are helping you master something, most likely about your work or your public visibility. So expect to be busy this Pisces season, especially between February 23rd and March 6th. Get all your stuff done. Get all your things in order. Your bosses are watching. And because Mercury is in Pisces, I just said the date a little while ago. It's about double and triple checking your work and not taking any chances. This is the time to push through and show up for yourself. Even if it doesn't seem like you're making progress, you are. You are, I promise you. With Saturn transits, which you're having a Saturn transit in your career sector, time. You have to be very patient. There's no instant gratification. That's the way I see it. There's no instant winning. You have to wait. You have to be patient And so Pisces is about that for you. Then the full moon in Virgo comes along, February 24th. And then you're here, pulled in two different directions. You feel like you have so much work and so much stuff to do, but then your home, your private life needs attention as well. Where do you put your energy? Balance it out. You don't, remember full moons were like, it's a clash between the luminaries. It's a moment of crisis. In this case, the opposition brings a crisis of like, I just have a lot to do. I just don't know how to like manage my time. Balance it. One is not more important than the other. They're both important at this time. Keep a low schedule around this full moon because you are going to be asked to step up to the table for your business, for your work. So there's not a lot of going out for you around in Pisces season, but this is your time to show up for yourself. And again, here, I'm talking about Mercury in Pisces. Mercury rules your chart if you're Gemini rising or your sun. And with Pisces Mercury, you have to make sure that you're not making mistakes. Because you know what? If you rush through a process and you make a mistake, you're just going to have to start it all over again. So be careful with that. Cancer. So here is one of the other water signs. You love the energy of Pisces. It's friendly to you because you're a water sign. And this is an exciting time because Pisces rules your 9th house of long distance travel and learning. And enjoy it. You should enjoy it. Make the best of it by traveling to a long distance destination, a country you've never been to, at least a city you've never been to, I would say. But definitely it would be better to go to a country you've never been to with this type of energy. Why? Because it will open your mind. It will make you excited about the future. Tasting different cuisines, different approaches to life, different flavors, different people. You could also instead decide to study something new, something new that you've never heard before. And why do you want to make the best of this energy? Because once Aries season arrives, you're going to be super busy with work. In fact, being super busy with work is going to start this season once Mercury enters Aries on March 9th. So make the best of this. Make the best of Pisces season and travel, explore your horizons, hang out with people from different cultures that can open your mind. Remember, we're in the age of Aquarius. It's time to open our minds. We're all into that energy. But you especially, because eclipses are going to come and they're going to be a busy time, it is now your moment to enjoy the pleasures of life. And what else? So here I have the Venus-Mars conjunction, bringing a perfect time for a romantic date, a romance. Or alternatively, put yourself out there. See, this is why you want to be out there in the world, even if it's digital or physically. Because you're going to be meeting new people. You're going to be, if you're single and looking, you could meet someone during this Venus-Mars conjunction. I'm excited for you. Leo. Well, relationships are highlighted for you because the Venus-Mars conjunction is happening in your 7th house. That feels like a moment in which a relationship could get birthed. It could be a romantic relationship. It could be a business relationship. It could be beginning to work with a coach, just as an example, or maybe someone who's going to bring something important into your life. Yeah, that's exciting. Make the best of this conjunction because it doesn't happen in the same place all the time. And remember, relationships are your new way of evolving because of Pluto being in Aquarius. This conjunction doesn't happen that close to Pluto, but it's going to ignite a new way of relating with other people. Could bring a new romantic partner for sure. And then your public life is also going to get activated because Jupiter and Uranus are in your 10th house of career and public visibility, and the planets are going to be squaring Jupiter and Uranus. You could get a new job, you could get a new project, something major, something important. But do remember, because Uranus is in your 10th house, you need to be flexible. This is not a time to be stuck to the old ways of doing things. This is not a time to get stuck in your beliefs concerning how things work. You have to open your mind in order to make stuff happen. Between March 10th and March 9th, you might encounter some challenges in your business relationships. This is when there are squares to Uranus, and that's exactly what I was talking about. There will be luck in your career sector, but there will also be disruption. Something unexpected. You gotta ride the wave. You gotta ride the wave of flow this Pisces season. That's what's gonna help you. Being stuck in your ways, not so much. That's gonna prevent you actually from embracing the new opportunities that you're gonna get. Having your mind open is gonna help you more. And because you're ruled by the sun, Leo is ruled by the sun, the only sign ruled by the sun. And the sun is going to pass through Neptune between March 10th and March 19th. Those 9 days, you might feel out of energy. You might feel tired, like your immune system is taking a hit. You might just feel like unmotivated. It's not you. It's the astrology. You're not alone. If you ask a lot of Leos, Leo rising, Leo sun people around that time, they're going to be feeling the same. And a lot of us are going to be feeling the same. Again, because of what I was talking at the beginning of this video, which is when the sun passes through Neptune, our immune system takes a toll. So these are times to rest. I would say maybe even take a vacation, or at least a weekend getaway, or a few days, or a staycation. That will replenish your energy, because then Aries season comes along and you're going to be like making moves, power moves. So this is your time to rest at the end of Pisces season and taking care of your body. Virgo. Again, relationships are kind of one of your themes because Pisces rules your 7th house. So you might feel like there's a lot of your energy going into other people's dramas, situations, celebrations. You might feel like it's about others. And it kind of is, to be honest. It kind of is, because that's where a lot of planets are going to be lining up in your 7th house. But there are good news too, don't worry. There might be a redrawing of boundaries with Saturn being activated at the beginning of Pisces season, and that's healthy. Between February 23rd and March 6th, you might have to tell somebody, hey, this is where the boundaries are. Okay? Remember, Saturn in Pisces has no boundaries. It is not, that's why it is not the best placement. Saturn wants boundaries and Pisces doesn't have boundaries. So you might have to do that, and it is healthy. Then there's a full moon in your sign on February 24th. Well, that's when things might come to a head over there, right? Things come, like a situation comes to climax, and you're like, what about me? Everything's about everybody else except for me. Well, this full moon, rest. Spend time alone on that day. It's a Saturday, but I think that full moon is going to make you feel like being alone and like not talking to anybody. That's okay. Give yourself time and space, because that moon is activating Saturn. And when Saturn's getting activated, there's some sort of shield where we're shielded from other people. We just need to be alone. Again, this could be a good time for a vacation too. At the end of Pisces season, that would be a fabulous time for a vacation. For many of us, it's coming. And then if you are single, wanting to mingle, wanting to meet somebody, the transit of Venus in Pisces is one of your best chances to put yourself out there. That begins on March 11th, right after the new moon. And this feels like some of your best weeks of the year to connect with people. It's not just about dating. The 7th house rules anyone that you have a contract with or that you have a deal with, like I'm your coach, I'm your astrologer, or your business partner. So during these 3 weeks, you could start working with somebody, either dating somebody or working with somebody. It will be a busy, but it will be an exciting time, especially towards the end. Libra, you're going to be busy. BCB. Why? Because like Pisces rules your 6th house of work and life processes. And with Saturn traveling there will be certain days where you feel like, this never ends, right? This never ends. Too many deadlines, like I can't catch up. Especially at the beginning of Pisces season, between February 23rd and March 6th. Keep going. Keep going. You're making stuff happen. I promise you, even if it doesn't seem like it. You get all your stuff done at the beginning so you can relax at the end when there will be less energy for productivity. And you have some stellar aspects too. Even though you're going to be busy with work, you have some stellar aspects because Venus is doing things. It's doing awesome things. It's squaring Uranus, but it's also activating Jupiter and meeting with Mars. There's romance in the sky, and there's luck for you as well. You could really run into some sweetness. Dating would be great around February 21st, 22nd. It's nice for dating. And then you are ruled by Venus. So when Venus enters Pisces, it's like, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel like all the work you put at the beginning of Pisces season is bearing fruits. And you're going to see these nice consequences of your work and your actions, even extending through Aries season, because this extends through Aries season. Congratulations. Scorpio. Pisces is a water sign like you, so you love the energy of Pisces. You're going to be receiving all these trines from the natal planets to your sun, and you're just like, woo, floating, swimming, and feeling great. And you know what? It's time. It's time. Because like Aquarius season was hard. It was intense. It brought a lot of shifts. It brought a lot of change that you're not a fan of. Pisces season is more about relaxing, letting go, surrender. Pisces season rules your 5th house of fun, play, romance. Hello, it's time. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it because Aries season promises to be really busy and really intense for you work-wise, or like with life, you're just going to be really busy. So take advantage during Pisces season to take a vacation, to spend more time with your friends, to do weekend getaways with your partner, or maybe even take an art class, embracing your creativity. If you're partnered, the Venus and Mars conjunction could really bring rapport because Mars rules Scorpio. And Venus is just going to sweeten you. It's just going to bring easiness. Yeah, connection, rapport. It's a great time for dating, to planning something. And then the transit of Venus in Pisces also brings a time to just put yourself out there. Because this is your house of romance, of play, of just having fun. This is a time to do that. The truth is, at the beginning, you might not feel that, okay? Disclaimer. During the time that the sun is going to activate Saturn, between February 23rd and March 6th, you might feel like something's preventing you from embracing this energy of flow and fun that I'm talking about. Because Saturn, it's like a wall. You might feel like, what is she talking about? Like, I thought it was going to be fun. It's coming. See it as like, okay, you might have a little bit of a harder time to embrace this energy of flow. But once March 6th or even before, you might be like, okay, I got it. I'm flowing now. And the end of Pisces season is absolutely fabulous for creative endeavors, to really tap into your creativity. Sagittarius. This is a coming home energy for you, Sagittarius. I don't know if you're going to go visit your parents, or you have big plans with your family, or maybe even just with your chosen tribe. Pisces rules your 4th house of home and roots. There's a lot of happening like at home, or like with family, or the foundations of your life. It is a good time to check your foundation. Is everything okay? Is everything working properly? Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's like checking that everything in your life is up to speed. How am I doing? Am I taking care of my vessel, my body? Saturn is requesting to answer those questions. Is everything okay? Right? Taking care of your foundation, because with a not that you don't have a strong foundation, but this is just the time of the year to do that. You might be wanting to nest more, and that's obvious. The full moon in Virgo promises to be a little intense, to be honest, because it's going to create, squares to your sun. A project could come to an end. At the end of the day, Virgo rules your career sector, your 10th house of career and public visibility. So an important project could come to an end or hit climax, like, whoa, here's the work we did, for example. If you've been working hard towards something, this is during the full moon in Virgo on February 24th. This is when you like, oh, wow, here's the result of my work. I can show it now, or it's showing results. Alternatively, because it could go both ways, it could be like, oh, okay, there's more work to do because Saturn's involved in this moon. So keep going. Remember, Saturn is about self-mastery and time. And then the new moon on March 10th is just a time of healing. let yourself heal by the waters of Pisces and Neptune, and just letting your worries dissolve. It is a great time to get a Reiki healing, doing family constellations, past life regressions. It is about taking care of number one. So this new moon can really bring a healing energy to the table if you embrace it. Capricorn. Prepare for your DMs to be flooded. Emails, people from your past coming back, Capricorn. Just people requesting things from you, because Pisces rules your third house of communication. So you might just feel a little like, whoa, this is intense. This is a little intense, but this is the time of the year. If you track it every year, this happens. What else? Let's see. You could be working on a proposal. Something communication that is related to communication, like a proposal or a pitch, or I don't know, you might be invited to a podcast. I'm just giving you examples on how this energy can come in. And then the full moon on February 24th, it's ideal for traveling. For traveling, or at least getting a weekend getaway. See, this is the thing about Pisces season. There's an energy of getting stuff done and self-mastery, but there's this energy of just relaxing and enjoying life. And the good news is that this full moon is friendly to you. It's going to be activating Saturn, which is your planet, but it's still friendly. It just feels like an important thing coming to an end at this time. An important thing coming to an end. And here I have some dates for you to take a vacation. Actually, it's March 9th through March 19th. Perfect. And then the last thing that I have for you is Mercury entering Aries. Mercury is going to be in Pisces for most of this time, but like Mercury enters Aries on March 9th, and the life starts kind of going towards your home sector at this time. You're gonna start feeling this, because Aries season is gonna be all about that, about your roots, family dynamics with your roommates, situations coming in your home or family tribe or chosen tribe. So Mercury is gonna start showing you what to expect in Aries season, which brings eclipse season and a Mercury retrograde. So pay attention to what transpires for you around between March 7th and March 10th or 11th. And you're going to get hints or codes or messages that are going to tell you what's going to be your eclipse story later on in April. Aquarius, we've come to the end. Yay. Aquarius. First question, what is the state of your finances? I know, not a fun subject, right? Who wants to talk about that? But Pisces does rule your second house of finances. So this is a time to pull out the spreadsheets, get your taxes ready, finish all your stuff. Do you have a budget? That is what Saturn in Pisces is asking you to do. Do you have debt? Do you have a plan to take care of that debt? Anyway, you got the drill. And this is going to be very strongly felt between February 23rd and March 6th again. So this is the time to get everything in order when it comes to your finances. You might also have to think about this in terms of personal values. The second house rules your value system as well. And we know that's been changing because you're changing, humanity's changing. You have Pluto in your sign now. So this is a time to really come to terms with how you've changed and how is that being reflected in your personal values. Saturn is like, get real about this now. Why? So you can move through life knowing exactly where you're landing. The March 10th new moon is a perfect time to also beginning something in relation to that. There's this Neptunian dissolution, but if you need to, I don't know, establish a payment method or something like that, this could be a good time to begin that. What else? Oh, and the Venus and Mars conjunction is happening in your sign. That's pretty significant. You don't get the cosmic lovers kissing in your sign very often. Ask yourself, what do I truly want during this time of massive change? What do I listen to the word truly. And of course, that could be a new partnership. This is a very romantic, kind of like pleasure inclined, like a meeting of the minds, kind of like energy. And the last thing that I have is around March 9th. Mars and Uranus square. So this is a time to avoid impulsivity, avoid erratic movements, erratic behavior. Like, this is not a good time to go skydiving. Just an example. To be very conscious about what you're doing. Why are the things that are truly coming up for you, and avoid impulsivity, because Uranus rules your Aquarius. And when Mars squares Uranus, minor accidents can happen. You can hurt your foot while working out, just little things like that. But on a bigger scale, because this is going to activate your need for freedom and to break free from something, you don't want to make any rash decisions at this time. That's what I'm talking about. Well, we've come to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in diving deeper into Pisces season, head to my website and book a reading at naramon.com. I offer recorded readings as well as in-person readings if you're in Oakland, or I do them over Zoom and they're recorded. And my readings are very holistic. I get really positive feedback because I approach astrology from a holistic perspective. And I invite you to subscribe to my channel as well if you enjoyed this, or just leave me a message if something resonated for you. I would love that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.